to be the governor, but
Okay, wait a second, Dad. You said you had the biggest cattle. Say that again, because I missed it.
Cattle herd.
cattle herd in
Nebraska.
Southern, which is near the Wyoming border, and
So that cattle rancher said he'd be honored.
he says I would be honored to be the vice president candidate, but I'm just too busy with my cattle.
So he was going to be a vice presidential candidate on the socialist ticket? What year was that? Do you remember? I'm sorry I put you on the spot there, because you worked for Norman Thomas for several campaigns, right?
It must have been 64.
64, not 64.
no,
You mean
no,
44?
No, yeah.
44.
Yeah.
44.
Before we were married.
Yeah.
We were married in 51.
Well, and so you worked for his campaign in Nebraska, but you also, was that before you lived in Harlem and worked at his office in New York? Because you worked at his office in New York too, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
I worked there before that.
So you worked where before which? You worked
in New York before you tried to get I am on the ballot in Lincoln.
Oh, so then it must have been later than 44, because you were in New York after the war, weren't you?
And Norman D. Thomas was the most honest and honorable man that I knew, because earlier than that they had a rally to have all the left parties were to get together and offer a single candidate
Right.
of the Fusion Party.
Okay.
And they were, they had two kinds of Trotskyite parties, Shachtmanites and the Cannonites. And
Never heard of these people.
and that's pretty good, because France had three Trotskyite or four Trotskyite parties with different leaders, and these guys had two. And then there was the communists